pave our path to success. And hello again, everybody. Frank Frausto here again. Welcome back to the Facebook ads training. And this is where it starts to get really fun when it comes to setting up Facebook ads. And this is also a really important part of the success of your campaigns. And what we're going to talk about here is our research and initial setup. So we're still in this calibration phase, and this research is a really important part of that because you want to have alignment to where your image and copy and your target market and all the research that you're going to do, they're all going to align with that audience that you're targeting. So what we want to do is essentially kind of go out there and see where our audience is on Facebook. We can learn what their interests are, what pages do they follow and like, what books do they read, what role or job do they have, what's their age, their demographic. And the better we get at dialing in and the more specific we are, the better it's going to pave our path to success. And you're going to want to take your time on doing this, maybe take a day or two, because if you do this right, you're going to have a very easy time finding your right audience and therefore selling a bunch of courses. If you don't take your time with this, you're going to have to spend a lot of time going back and tweaking and getting this right. Think of this phase as creating a target. You're drawing a picture for Facebook. And the more data that you can give Facebook, the clearer Facebook sees that picture. And the more information that you give them about who exactly is your target market, who they follow, what age, what demo, the better or closer aligned or the easier time Facebook is going to have to actually hit that target. So my recommendation is that you take your time with this and grab something to take notes on with, whether that's a piece of paper, whether that's Google Doc or Evernote. You're going to want to write things down as you start to learn more and more about your audience. So with that, here's how we're going to set this up. We're going to do two things. One is I'm going to show you some best practices and how to sort of structure your research first. Then we're going to hop into Facebook and we'll do some stuff actually in real time to give you an idea of the level of granularity that you can get here. So with that, let's dive right in. And the first thing you're going to do when you are setting this up or starting your account setup is step one, set up a custom audience if you have it. So let's say that you already have a website or you already have a lead list. The first thing you're going to do is create a custom audience based on your existing customer list. If you have one, if you have a buyer's list, even better. Then what you're going to do is create a lookalike audience off of that. And we should have showed you how to do that on the last module or one of these modules around here. But that's going to be your best chance of selling courses on Facebook. One, because you can target those exact people that have already associated themselves with your brand. And two, that gives Facebook a very clear picture of the type of people that you want to target. So if you have the luxury of already having website traffic, good website traffic that you could create a custom audience in, or better yet, already have an existing buyer's list, we're going to start with that first. That is your best chance of selling courses right away on Facebook. If you don't have one of those already, no problem. You're going to just move straight to step two. And even if you do, you want to make sure that you follow up on step two, which is going to Facebook's audience insights. And on audience insights, this is where we are going to learn about your own target users and how they use Facebook, etc. And we're going to do this using Facebook's own data. This is going to be where we can actually create similar audiences and lookalike audiences down the road. But this is where we're going to learn how old they are, what demo are they in, where are they physically located, interests, what books do they read, who do they follow, all that type of stuff. And again, like I just mentioned, we want to pay special attention into like who are the market leaders, what organizations do they follow, but most importantly, we want to get some inspiration onto the posts that they respond to. What ads or what posts are they liking or commenting on? And that is going to give us some insight into the image and or copy that our market responds to. What language are they in? Are they responding to humorous posts or more serious posts? Are they responding to certain offers? Let's take all of this into consideration. That way, when we set up our targeting and our images and our copy, we have all of this information to draw on. Last but not least, we want to get demographic information. If you don't already have this, you want to know what geographies are they in, what income level, are they male or female, are they single, married, divorced, all that type of stuff. So I think we're pretty much on the same page here in terms of what we're all about. Let's jump right into Facebook and get into this information. And first of all, to access it, you want to pull up your menu, and all the way to the left, you want to select Audience Insights. And what we're looking at here is a audience dashboard of all of Facebook's users right now within the United States. But I can plop in different country information, regions, cities, change things by age range, and all of the demographic, relationship status, employee education level, place of employment or job title, all of this information will change. So for instance, if I know my audience skews younger and just say 18 to 35, all of this data will change. I can see that it's slightly more women than men. I can take a look at relationship status and how that compares to what I just had on there, and filter by kind of what are their job titles in that age range. Let's reset this though and go back into and pay special attention to the interest category, because this is where we're going to get a ton of data. What we're wanting to do is put in some of the interests or get an idea of what our target audience might like. Or here's where you can put in interests that are similar in scope to your course that you're creating. So for instance, let's say that one of the things that I want to target, or one of the groups I want to target, are people that are interested in like the blockchain community or cryptocurrency. So one thing I can start is by just typing in blockchain and maybe say like a cryptocurrency like Ethereum. And notice how all of these have changed. This skews really heavily male, particularly within this 25 to 35 and 35 to 44 demographic. Most of those people are married with college education or higher, and mostly in sales, admin, or management type roles. That's interesting. If I wanted to drill down specifically to just that male audience, I can do so. And it'll change some of this slightly, although it looks to be fairly similar. So if I go back to this all gender, this gives me an idea of the demographics that I may want to start targeting. But also note that there's other options up here: page likes, location, and activity. Pay special attention to page likes. So if I go on to page likes, this is going to tell me some of the other crossover interests for this audience. What internet companies, what type of electronics do they follow, what publishers or periodicals do they read, different thought leaders within this space that they might follow or be interested in, different authors or comics or comedians, so on and so forth. Also, take a look at all the different page likes that they have. So what do I do with this information? One is I want to start going to some of these Facebook pages and taking note of what posts are being liked, what the images are, what the copy is. So let me go into, let's pick one of these. Let's pick like Newegg. How about that? Even though that's an electronics type page, let me get an idea of like the language that they're using, the images that they're using. And bingo, right off the bat, this is kind of what I'm looking for. High engagement. 3,500 likes, 136 comments on this page. So kind of humorous, Game of Thrones-ish. R.I.P. Grumpy Cat, Cat of House Targaryen, first of her name. So interesting. I don't know. Hey, rest in peace to Grumpy Cat if Grumpy Cat actually passed away. But this is an idea of a high engagement post that I may want to put a pin in and come back to when I'm creating my ads. Scroll through some of these other ones. 34. 183 for this. All right, when it comes to RAM, things can be a little confusing. Check out our newbie-friendly primer that explains DDR types, speeds, and choosing the best RAM for your needs. Interesting. And then they link to one of their pages. Take a look at 138 likes and 50 comments. So this is pretty straightforward to the point, but helpful, and it gives me an idea of kind of what's top of mind here. So you can get an idea of kind of the research that I'm doing. And as I'm going through, I'm maybe jotting things down either on my paper or on my Evernote or my Google Doc as I go through there. So that's one example. How about let's go through 2 or 3 other ones. How about Investopedia? This is in the financial space. And I'm scrolling, I'm getting an idea of some of the copy that they're using, some of the images that they're using that they're responding to. This could be a good one. Basic understanding the fundamentals of the financial statement is a must. This could work. 5 stocks to ride that 1.4 trillion coming in from millennial spending wave. So good idea. I mean, that's kind of clever headline that they've used, interesting image that they've selected as well. And nothing else really catches my eye there. So let me go back over here and maybe let's do one other one. How about Ethereum? Let's go to Ethereum. Now this is more on the nose for who I'm trying to target. If I'm trying to target blockchain and cryptocurrency enthusiasts, this is a very strong correlation. So Solidity Optimizer. Interesting. And if I have a programming course for people that program in Solidity, I mean, this is a winner. This could actually work. Sometimes you actually want to open up the article too and take a look at and read through some of the language they use. This is a great idea, or this is a great piece of information or a piece of inspiration for buzzwords that you should be looking at, or figuring out what is top of mind for folks that are into programming blockchain smart contracts or whatnot. There we go, 66 comments for this. This was kind of a live YouTube thing that they did, so they're responding well to that information. Again, 146 likes. Boom, this might work. Ethereum Foundation grants program wave 5. Interesting. So a lot of engagement off of some of these, although the images are pretty static. So I'm not getting a ton of inspiration there, although I'm really liking some of these titles and some of these articles that I can go to sort of understand kind of the language that my target audience is really responding to. And so you guys get an idea of some of that stuff, but you can get a sense of the engagement, the audience, and how closely the affinity is to whatever it is that the interest that you've targeted. Other things you want to look at is like location. Where are these folks physically located? And I can see there's a high concentration in like these top 4 or 5 cities: New York, Los Angeles County, Los Angeles City, Manhattan. So those are kind of two of the same thing, whether you target like the metro area or the city proper. Chicago, Miami. So if I wanted to really target or hone my ads in, I could go with nationwide targeting, or I may just want to start with 5 or 6 of these top locations first, because I'm using Facebook's data to tell me where my market is located. Last but not least, you can actually go into activity, like how frequently are they going in, using, doing certain things like liking pages, commenting, subscribing, what devices are they using, so on and so forth. I would recommend that you spend a good amount of time on here and actually go into different interests and try out different things. From there, if you really wanted to go to like a next level, you want to take a look at people that are highly engaged on some of these things. And if you see the same people over and over commenting on a page that's very similar, has a high correlation to yours, go to their profile as well. And this is, I don't want to say Facebook stalking, but this is creative information of gathering, your most engaged users. Go to their Facebook profile and get a sense for what content they're liking, what books they read, what are they following, what are they really responding to, what are they really passionate about in their posts, what do they like or dislike. And the goal of this is to really drill down into your avatar, find the messages, the ideas, the copy, all of this stuff that's going to work for your audience. That way, when it comes to building our campaigns, you're going to start with all of this great information. Another quick tip that you may want to do is I like to use like magazines as sources for inspiration as well. And one of the things I saw on there that this group reads a lot is Entrepreneur Magazine. And by just doing a simple search for Entrepreneur Magazine covers and going to Google Images, take a look at all of this potential like image inspiration and ad copy. Magazines and like Entrepreneur, Success, or any magazine, their entire goal is to sell magazines. And how do they do that? They do that with the cover copy or the cover image and the copy on the front cover. So clicking into some of these, you may want to get an idea of what is working or what are they using. And this could be great headline inspiration or topic inspiration for you to then fold into your own creatives. Try and blow that one up a little bit. There we go. 100 Brilliant Companies. Kevin Hart, kind of more humorous. Interesting. Franchise 500 issue. There we go. In the mobile market. Take the mobile app by storm. Your ticket to fundraising. Find a distributor. So again, this is a great idea for just coming in, and the more you get into this, and you may not strike gold right away, but the more time you spend combing through this, the more you're going to get. And when you find something you find really resonates with you or your market, do yourself a favor, copy and paste that into your notes tab or your notes field, or just take notes with your own pen and paper. And all you're doing is gathering all this information. This, by the way, is all of the information that like research firms or consulting firms like McKinsey and Corporation would charge you tens of thousands of dollars to give to you. But you're able to go in, use Facebook's data, and use a couple of Google searches and find all this on your own. So let me leave you guys with a couple of takeaways. Goal here again is to really drill down, understand your target your target avatar, and what we're doing here is really letting the market tell us who we should target and what the copy should be. So don't get if you have some ideas or hunches, you can absolutely use those as test campaigns. But the beautiful thing here is we're using Facebook's own data to tell us where customers are. And we're going to let that be our guiding principle so that we can create effective test campaigns. The more you do this, the better you're going to get at it. Do not skip over this, and do not just take 10 minutes, slap a couple of things on there, and then think you've got it nailed. Because the difference between getting massive course sales and mediocre results really comes down to who can target their market the best. So make sure you've got all your notes. Make sure you've written all this down. That way, when you're ready to start building campaigns in Facebook, you've armed yourself with all of that data. Have fun with this. Take your time. Really enjoy kind of this process. And when you're ready, we'll see you in the next couple modules where we're going to actually start building out our test campaigns.